8.8 example 2 doesn't have a try it with it, but I do want to give you a vocab word here. When you take a three-dimensional figure and you open it up and lie it flat, almost like it's wrapping paper, it's called a net. N-E-T, net. Nets are really handy because if you're looking for surface area of a figure, you could find the area of each portion of that net and then add it together like you did for the composite figure earlier. This one's an interesting question because Hiromi is painting the front and back of a barn, and each can of paint covers 32 square feet. How many cans of paint does Hiromi need to cover the entire front and back? So the question that we're answering here is how many cans does he need? So I'm worried that I'm going to forget about that. So I'm going to make myself a checklist of steps to go through. 1 second, Tommy, let me push pause. We told Tommy that as soon as I start my afternoon meeting with you, that he can play video games with his dad. So he was over here to ask if I was in a meeting. And I said, kind of. And he goes, okay. And he ran toward the basement door saying, Vince? Because he wants to let Dad know that it's time to play games. Okay, so here's my game plan. Number 1, I want to find the area of that front section. That front section is shaped like this. The second thing I want to do is find the area of the back. And since the area of the front and the area of the back are the same, I'm going to take this area and I'm going to times it by 2. So at that point I'll have the total area. So once I have the total area, if every can of paint covers 32 square feet, then if I divide this into groups of 32s, that will tell me the number of cans of paint that I need. So this is my checklist. This is what I'm going to keep track of. It's good to have a game plan before you start. So let's start off by drawing the figure. Tommy's playing underneath the desk at my feet right now, so I'm a little rickety here. So I know this side is 11 feet, this side is 12 feet, and then I've got this figure at the top, which is a triangle, and this triangle, I know that the base of this triangle is 12 feet, and then the height of this triangle, this is the one where we kind of have to figure it out. If the whole thing from the bottom to the top is 15, and this portion of it is 11, then that must mean that this is going to be 4 feet. So let's find the area of both parts. So the inside portion first, the big rectangle first. I know that the area of this section is 11 times 12, and I know that 11 times 12 is 132. So this is 132 square feet. And then the triangle up top, I know the formula for the area of the triangle is base times height divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2, which is 48 divided by 2, which is 24. 24. So the front and back of the barn, it's 132 plus 24, which is 156 square feet, or feet squared. So, done. Second step is you have to remember there's a back of this barn as well. So I'm going to take that area and multiply it by 2. 156 times 2. 150 times 2 is 300. 6 times 2 is 12, so that's going to be 312 square feet. 312. 312. All right, so that's our total area. So our total area is 312, and every can of paint that we get will cover 32 square feet. So I'm going to group this into groups of 32. And so I'm going to use my calculator. 312 divided by 32 is 9.75. 9.75. So this is going to tell me how many cans that I need to buy. But here's the thing, everybody. You can't buy a portion of a can of paint. They're not going to sell you a portion of a can of paint. So we might say he needs, oh, I don't know that is a specifically male name there. So let's change this. Whoops. Let's change this. I apologize to they need 9.75 cans. I'll show you in a second to cover the front and back. But you can't buy a portion of a can, so Hiromi needs to buy 10 cans of paint. Ta-da! Nice. So be careful, because this is one of those numbers where it's not just a rounding rule that gets you the right answer, because even if he needed 9.1 cans of paint, you would have to buy the 10 cans of paint. Otherwise, you're going to be short paint. So be careful about when these become real-life examples. And I don't know if you've ever bought paint before. It's expensive. So you really do want to figure out exactly how much you're going to need to cover something. All right. Nice job. Let me know if you need any help on the additional practice for 8.8. I know the one for 8.7 was really, really difficult. So tell me if you need 8.8 help, and I'll do that one too. All right.